Hello, mighty companions. This is Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to Hardcore Course in Miracles here on Facebook Live. I'm so excited to share Hardcore Course in Miracles with you. I'm Earl Purdy. We're on Facebook Live. Welcome to Hardcore Course in Miracles. Tonight's topic is going to be the branching of the road. You might be at that point right now in your life where you feel like you are at the branching of the road. We are going to cover the branching of the road. In A Course in Miracles, we are going to cover the branching of the road in A Course in Miracles text right now. It's on page 477 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. We're going to be on page 477 in the text. We're going to cover the section, or as much of the section as we can, that is called the branching of the road. The branching of the road. We're going to talk about the branching of the road in Hardcore Course in Miracles. I'm Earl Purdy. This is a class that is particularly geared towards students of A Course in Miracles who are actually studying the Course in Miracles. It's going to take for granted that you know a lot of the basics of the Course in Miracles. It's not an analytical gathering. It is a gathering where we come together to get the profound simplicity of A Course in Miracles and exactly what the message is that the Holy Spirit is and Jesus has given us from the Course in Miracles. The Jesus of A Course in Miracles does not have the characteristics, a lot of the characteristics of the Jesus of the Bible that most people have a lot of misperceptions, who many people have misperceptions around in terms of fear. So the Course in Miracles, we're going to be in the branching of the road on page 477 in A Course in Miracles. That's in chapter 22, section 4. Okay, I'm going to just take a second here to get you up so that I can see your comments. And I'm going to do what we were instructed to do in A Course in Miracles. And we were instructed to read the Course in Miracles slowly, to do the Course in Miracles slowly. So this is a class for people who are studying A Course in Miracles, and anyone is welcome to listen to this message or watch this message, but it's especially geared to A Course in Miracles students. Okay, so we're going to talk about the branching of the road. The branching of the road. It says, when you come to the place, when you come to what place? When you come to the place where the branch in the road is quite apparent. Okay, mighty companions, I want to tell you something. It takes about 10 minutes or so to really focus in on hearing A Course in Miracles. I've been doing this for close to 40 years, and I just want to give you some tips. The ego, regular mind, kind of goes crazy at the very beginning of the course and tries to do everything to distract you from focusing in. So I want to ask everybody right now to take a breath. Take a breath. Let's bring all of our energy and attention in. We're glad to be with each other. We are live on Facebook. We can communicate. We can comment. We can ask questions. But right now, just take a breath. Take a breath. And just allow yourself to breathe. Just take a breath. Take another breath. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's take another breath. Okay. So I want you to focus in. If you have the book, we're on page 477, The Branching of the Road. And I'm going to take this sentence by sentence, okay? It says, when you come to the place where the branch in the road is quite apparent, you cannot go ahead. You cannot go ahead when you come to the place where the branching of the road is apparent. You may feel like you're at a crossroads in your life right now. You may feel like you are at the branching of the road, and you cannot go ahead when you come to the place where the branch in the road is obvious to you. You stop. You cannot go ahead. What does the Course in Miracles mean when it says, when you come to the place where the branch in the road is quite apparent, you cannot go ahead? It means that you must go one way or the other. You at this point in your life now that you've either, and in your spiritual study, that you must go either one way or the other. You must go toward love, or you're going to go toward fear. You're going to go toward unity, or you're going to go toward separation. You must go either way. Because now, if you go straight ahead, what does that mean? It means if you go the way you went before you reach the branch. Okay, in other words, if you keep on thinking and approaching your life the way you did before you started to study the Course and receive the truth that comes through the Course, if you keep doing it the way you did it before you started to wake up in the truth, if you do it the way you did it before you started to practice the Course in Miracles, you will go nowhere. So the Course's definition of going nowhere is a person that keeps on going and doing things the way that they did it before they got into the truth, before you reached the branch. The purpose of coming this far, the purpose of everything that you've gone through, the purpose of everything that you've gone through, the whole purpose of coming this far, the whole purpose for coming this far. So why did you come this far on your spiritual path? What was the purpose of you coming this far on your spiritual path? Well, the purpose of coming as far as you have come, the purpose for coming as far as you have come, the purpose for everything that you've done up to this point was for you to decide which branch you will take now. Okay, so the purpose of everything that you went through before this moment, the purpose of everything that you've gone through before this moment was to get you to this point where you will decide which way you're going to go now. So let me make sure I'm getting this as well as you, mighty companions. So the Course in Miracles just told us that when you come to the point that you know you have to make a choice between the truth or illusion, love or fear, then because once you reach the branching of the road, you can't go ahead. That means you got to go either one way or the other way. But if you go straight ahead now, if you keep doing it the way you've always doing it, if you keep doing it the way you've always done it, the Course in Miracles says the way you went before you reached the branch, you will go nowhere. So the whole purpose of coming this far was for you to decide which way you're going to go now. Don't complicate. Okay, so I have to remember not to complicate this because it's the simplicity of the Course in Miracles that makes it so profound. So when it talks about deciding which way you're going to go, do you know that the Course in Miracles is talking about you deciding whether you're going to go in the direction of innocence and joy and happiness and abundance and unity and oneness, or are you going to go in the direction of fear, anger, depression, lack, sickness, separation, or attack? You have to decide right now which branch you are going to take. And one of the most powerful statements in this paragraph is the next statement, when it says, the way you came no longer matters. It doesn't matter how you got this far. It doesn't matter the path you took before you got here. It doesn't matter what you went through in your childhood, through your adulthood, up to this point. The Course in Miracles is telling us that the way I came no longer matters. The way you came to this point on your spiritual path no longer matters. The reason why the way you came no longer matters. Would you like to know why the way that you came no longer matters? The reason why the way that you came no longer matters is that the way that you came before you got into the truth, the way that you thought before you got into the Course in Miracles, it can no longer serve you. The old way you used to do things can no longer serve you. The way you came, the way you got this far, it no longer matters. It can no longer serve. Do you know what the good news is? The good news is no one who reaches this far can make the wrong decision. Do you know that if you made it this far, you can't make a wrong decision? You can't make the wrong decision about which way to go now. If you came this far, you can't make the wrong decision. You can't make the wrong decision. If you made it this far to the point that you're hearing what I'm saying to you, if you made it this far in A Course in Miracles in your pursuit of the truth, then the Course in Miracles says no one, and are you included in no one? Yes, you are included in no one. And it says no one who reaches this far can make the wrong decision. Hear that. You can't make a wrong decision. If you've made it this far, you cannot make a wrong decision about what? You cannot make a wrong decision about which way to go. Now, he says if you reach this far, you can't make a wrong decision, although the Course says you can delay. Okay, so if you made it this far, you can't make a wrong decision, but you can delay. You can delay. So you're at the point on your spiritual path that you can't make the wrong decision about which way to go. You're going to go toward love. You're going to go toward God. You're going to go toward the truth. But what you can do is mess around. The Course in Miracles says what a person can do is mess around. They can't make a wrong decision if they made it this far, but what a person can do is just mess around, delay. But how can you tell if you're delaying? He says, well, there is no part of the journey that seems more hopeless and futile than standing where the road branches and not deciding on which way to go. So the most hopeless part of the spiritual journey, the part of the spiritual journey that seems the most futile and the most hopeless, is standing where the road branches. You know, you have to go in the direction of love, which is taking responsibility for your experience and what you see, or move toward fear, which is seeing yourself as a victim of the world that you see, which is fear. And no part of the journey is more futile than not deciding which direction you're going to go in. So what is the most futile and hopeless part of the spiritual journey of A Course in Miracles up to this point? It's being to the point that now you've been exposed to the truth and not deciding which way you're going to go. The way that you got here doesn't matter. The way that you got this far can no longer help you or serve you. Do you know that there is no part of the journey that feels more hopeless? There's no part of the journey that feels more futile than standing where the road branches and not deciding which way to go. What are the two ways? What are the two ways? What are the two roads? Either the road of love, which is peace and joy, or the road of fear. That's it. Now, My temptation is to make it complicated. My temptation is to make this complicated. My temptation is to make this complicated. And what makes the hardcore Course in Miracles class with me, Earl Purdy, so powerful is that the thing that I'm focusing on is the simplicity of A Course in Miracles. I've been a teacher, student of A Course in Miracles for 38 years. What I want to do is save those who are open to it some time and let you see the powerful simplicity of A Course in Miracles and teach you how not to let your old ego, your old way of looking at things, keep you from being able to receive the incredible power and simplicity of the Course. There's no part of your spiritual journey that's going to feel more hopeless and futile than not making the decision to move toward God, to not make the decision to move toward love, happiness, truth, and God. That's the delay. So the Course in Miracles definition of delay is you not making a decision. So when the Course in Miracles talks about a person delaying, the Course in Miracles is saying that this is a person that hasn't made a decision about the direction that they're going to go in. That's what delay means from A Course in Miracles perspective. So if you are delaying, you haven't made the decision to go in the direction of love, truth, and peace. So I want to say hello to all of you that are online and that are communicating. And like you say, Diana, the profound simplicity is what I look forward to sharing in a hardcore Course in Miracles. CJ is saying, yes, she loves having time saved so she doesn't waste it. She wants more time to experience the new. Okay. The next paragraph says in the Course in Miracles, it is but the first few steps along the right way that seem hard. It's just the first few steps that seem hard. It's just the first few steps along the right way that seem hard. It's just the first few steps that seem hard because you've chosen, and it's just the first few steps that are going to seem difficult. So the Course in Miracles says, now you've chosen, you haven't made the wrong decision. You've chosen for love, you've chosen for truth. But then the Course in Miracles turns around and says, I want to tell you guys a few things. And the first thing I want to tell you is that it's the first few steps that you're going to take along the right way that's going to be the steps that seem really hard. So the hardest steps on the spiritual journey are the first steps. The hardest steps are the first few steps because you have chosen. You have chosen for truth. You have chosen for God. You have chosen for happiness. You have chosen for abundance. And then we were just told, that's great. But I want to let you know that the first few steps may seem hard. The first few steps may seem hard. Because you have chosen, you've chosen, although you still may think you can go back. You may think you can go back to the old. You may think you can go back to doing it the way you did it before you got on your spiritual path. In other words, you may think you can go back to blaming others. In other words, the person might think they can go back to seeing themselves as a victim. When the Course in Miracles talks about going back, it's talking about you going back to an old way of looking at things. A Course in Miracles is always talking about perception. The Course in Miracles is a spiritual path that changes your perception. The Course in Miracles teaches that the only thing that can be wrong is your perception. And the Course in Miracles also teaches that your perception is your interpretation. So the only thing that can be wrong is your interpretation of what's going on. The only thing that can be wrong is your interpretation of what you're looking at. The only thing that can really be wrong, the Course in Miracles teaches, is your perception. So when it talks about you may think you can go back, what does that mean? In other words, you may think you can go back and make the other choice for fear, or make the other choice for separation, or make the other choice to see yourself as a victim of circumstances. But this is not so. Did you hear what the Course in Miracles says? I'm sorry, you've come this far, and I don't know how to break it to you, but you're at the first steps, and the first steps may seem a little hard, but you've chosen for love, although you think you can go back and choose for fear and make another choice, he says you can't do it. You can't go back. You can't go back. You can't go back. Do you know why you can't go back to the old way? Do you know why you can't go back to your old frightening perceptions? The Course in Miracles says, a choice made with the power of heaven to uphold it cannot be undone. So when you make a choice with the power of love upholding that choice, then that choice cannot be undone. When you make a choice with the power of God upholding that choice for love, that choice for love cannot be undone. So, what did we just hear? Well, we just heard that it's going to be the first few steps along the new path that's going to seem hard. Then we were told you have chosen, although you still think that you might be able to go back and make another choice, you can't. You've chosen for love, you've chosen for God, you've chosen for happiness, and you can't go back. You can't make the other choice. The reason why you can't go back to your old way of looking at things, the reason why you can't go back to your old way of looking at things is because you made a choice for truth, you made a choice for love, and the power of heaven, the power of God, the power of love is going to uphold your choice. God is going to uphold your choice. God is going to hold your choice. The Creator is going to support your choice for love and happiness. And so since the Creator is upholding, the heaven is upholding your choice can't be undone. You can't go back and say, oh, I changed my mind. I'm not going to let love and happiness come into my life. Sorry, you cannot change your mind. Love and happiness are going to come into your life. Healing is going to come into your life. Abundance is going to come into your perception. Love is going to come into your life like it never has before. Joy and peace and awareness is going to come into your life at a level it never has before because you made the choice with the power of heaven to uphold your choice. And so your choice for God, your choice for love cannot be undone. I'm taking this slow because it's important that you hear it. It's always interesting how the heat comes on as soon as I start doing this class. Okay, then the next thing that it says is your way is decided. Okay, what you want to do now, what you want to do, what is it that I want to do? Well, what you want to do right now is you want to say, my way is decided. My way is decided. Breathe as you say that. Think about what you're saying as you repeat it to yourself. Think about what you're saying. My way is decided. That means the way you're going to go has already been decided. Your way to happiness, God, and peace has already been decided. Your way is decided. So say that to yourself. My way is decided. My way is decided. My way is decided. Okay, say that. My way is decided. 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 Your 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 way is decided. My 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 way is decided. Your 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 way is decided. My 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 way is decided. Tell yourself that your way is decided. Tell yourself, my way is decided by God. My way is decided by God. That's the same as saying, my way is decided by love. My way is decided by love. Tell yourself, my way is decided by love. Woo! My way is decided. My way is decided. You and me, we're not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell yourself, my way is decided. My way is decided. Hear it. My way is decided. Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. What? My way is decided. 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 Our 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 way is decided. Woo, there are several stages to accepting the truth. One thing that you do, the first thing you do is you hear it, and you hear it, then you repeat it, then you repeat it, then you repeat it. Then you begin to accept it with some reservations. Then you consider it more and more and more until you finally accept it. That's how you accept the truth. That's why I repeat things so much. The Course in Miracles continually says, don't forget, remember. Don't forget, remember. Don't forget, remember. The Course in Miracles says that over and over and over again. Don't forget, remember. The Course in Miracles does not say analyze me. The Course in Miracles does not say analyze me. The Course in Miracles says the ego analyzes. The Holy Spirit accepts. The fearful mind analyzes. The fearful mind analyzes. The loving mind accepts. So don't forget, the Course in Miracles also teaches that you don't have to believe these ideas. You don't have to accept these ideas. You don't have to welcome these ideas. Some of these ideas are going to be hard to believe. Some of these ideas are going to be quite startling. It says that if you would just use the ideas, you will see that the ideas are true. So my classes are not about analyzing a Course in Miracles. My classes are about hearing what we're being told, seeing the profound simplicity of it, helping you in your own personal study and reading so that it'll be easier for you to do it. Don't forget that when the Course in Miracles talks about the branching in the road and you're having to choose which way to go, it's talking about you having to choose whether you're going to go in the direction of God and love and truth, or whether you're going to keep going in the direction of projection, blame, anger, upset, and sadness. It also told us that you might think you can change your mind and go back and do it the way you used to, but you can't. And the reason why you can't is because God is upholding your choice. The Creator is going to uphold your choice. And so your choice for happiness cannot be undone. Okay, so if your choice for happiness cannot be undone, he says that means your way is decided. Okay, so the next sentence is a trip sentence. And I'm going to really try to hear this sentence. This sentence is this. This sentence is this. This sentence is this. There will be nothing you will not be told. There will be nothing you won't be told. You will be told everything you need to do. You will be told everything that you will need to do. There will be nothing you will not be told if, and that's if, You will be told everything you need to know to go in the direction of love and happiness if you do what? There will be nothing you won't be told if you acknowledge this. Acknowledge what? It says there will be nothing I won't be told if I acknowledge this. There will be nothing I won't be told if I acknowledge this. So what is it that I am being told I need to acknowledge? What is it that you are being told you need to acknowledge? You need to acknowledge that your way is decided. You need to acknowledge that a choice made with the power of heaven to uphold it cannot be undone. You need to acknowledge that you can't go back and make another choice. You need to acknowledge that it's just the first few steps along the right way that seem hard. You need to acknowledge that there's no part of the journey that seems more hopeless and futile than standing where the road branches and not deciding which way to go. You need to acknowledge that you cannot make a wrong decision if you've come this far. You need to acknowledge that the way that you came no longer matters and the way that you came no longer serves. You need to acknowledge that the whole purpose of coming this far was for you to decide which branch you're going to take now. You must acknowledge that if you keep going straight ahead the way you used to think before you got into this, you will be going nowhere. You need to acknowledge that you need to go either one way or the other, toward love or toward fear. You need to acknowledge that when you come to the place where the road branches, you can't go ahead. You must make a choice. So when the Course in Miracles says you need to acknowledge this, it's talking about acknowledging what you've just been told. The Course in Miracles has a profound simplicity. The Course in Miracles answers the questions before you even ask them by being so profoundly simple that it says that there is nothing less obvious to the ego mind, to the human mind, to the frightened mind, then there's nothing less obvious than simplicity. So the simple truth is bewildering. The simple truth is bewildering to a frightened mind. So the more afraid the person is, then the harder it is for the person to recognize the simplicity of the message and the simplicity of the truth. Okay. So when I say hardcore Course in Miracles, what's making it hardcore Course in Miracles, if indeed it's hard, is the simplicity of the Course that I am revealing to you as best I can. So, Diana says, if I acknowledge this, nothing won't be told. That's right. I need to acknowledge my way has been decided, that the way that I came no longer matters and no longer serves me. Kathy says, I acknowledge right now I cannot make any other choice but love. I cannot make any choice but love. I have decided the road I take is the choice for love. A leader says, I don't want to be spinning my spiritual wheels. I decide to go the way of truth. C says, I am open and accepting of all love's blessings. And so I see that we're all on the same page. Okay, let's go to paragraph 3. We're in the branching of the road, and we're on paragraph 3 on page 477. So first I'm going to go through the paragraph, and then we're going to go back through it so that we can get the juice out of it and get the message. And so you and your brother stand here in this holy place before the veil of sin that hangs between you and the face of Christ. So you need to let the veil of the belief in sin be lifted. Raise it together with your brother, for it is but a veil that stands between you. Either you and your brother alone will see the veil as a solid block, nor realize how thin the drapery that separates you now. Yet the drapery that separates you now is almost over in your awareness, and peace has reached you even here before the veil. Think what will happen after. The love of Christ will light your face and shine from it into a darkened world that needs the light. And from this holy place, love, Christ, truth, your real self will return with you, not leaving it nor you. You will become love's messenger. You will become God's messenger. You will become the messenger of love, returning love unto himself. Okay, so let's go back through that paragraph and see if we can hear what it says. Okay, so it says you and I are standing here in the holy place. Okay, so what is the holy place? The holy place is where you stand before the veil of sin that hangs between you and the face of Christ. In other words, there's a veil of fear that hangs between you and the face of love. A Course in Miracles is only talking about love or loving perceptions or fearful perceptions. So this is, and the Course in Miracles also defines a brother. And one definition of brother in A Course in Miracles is a mind that is joined with yours. So when the Course in Miracles says brother, it's not talking about a gender. It's not talking about like a male or a female person. When it says brother, it's talking about a mind that is joined with your mind. So as you and I stand here in this holy place right now, we are standing before the veil of sin, which is the veil of fear that hangs between you and the face of Christ, which is the face of love. So what we need to do is let it be lifted. So what is it that the Course in Miracles says needs to be lifted? He says the veil of sin. Whatever is keeping me from seeing the face of love, whatever is keeping us from seeing each other's loving face, whatever it is that keeps us from seeing each other with love, whatever it is that keeps us from seeing each other with love, that is the veil of sin. That is, in the Course in Miracles, defines sin as insanity. So sin is just another word for insanity. And so the Course in Miracles says we need to let the insanity be lifted so that we can see each other's loving face. In order for me to see your loving face, I need all of my insane thoughts to be released. I need to lift up. I need to have that veil lifted up. And that veil is nothing but the belief in sin, the belief in guilt, the belief in separation. And the Course in Miracles says, let it be lifted. Raise it together with your brother, the mind that is joined with yours. For it is but a veil that stands between you. It's just a fear that stands between you. It's just a veil of the belief in sin and insanity that stands between us. So the only thing that's standing between me and you, the only thing that's standing between me and you is the insane ideas and beliefs that you have and the insane ideas and beliefs that I have, which the Course in Miracles defines as sin. The Course in Miracles says sin just means insanity. So what's standing between me and you, what's keeping us from loving each other and seeing each other in a loving way, is there is a veil between us. See, here I am, but then when I put my hand up, that's the veil. And because of the veil, you can't see me. And this veil is nothing but any of your beliefs in separation from me, any fear, any guilt, any anger, any form of separation that you see between us. That is the veil. And so the Course in Miracles is saying we need to lift that veil together, because it's just beliefs that stand between us. It's just our insane beliefs that keep us from seeing the love in each other. Then the Course in Miracles says either you and the other alone will see it as a solid block and won't realize how thin the drapery that separates you now. So whatever it is that's separating us from each other, we're going to see it as a solid block alone, unless we join together for the purpose of lifting the fear. Then it's going to look like the fear is so real that it's like a solid block that we can't get past. So the block, the separation, it says, is almost over. Where? In your awareness. The separation, the belief that we're separate, is almost over. The belief that you are separate from everyone else is almost over. The belief that you are disconnected and not joined in oneness, the Course in Miracles says, it is almost over. Where? In your awareness. In your awareness. And peace has reached you even here, before the veil of fear, before the veil of insanity. Peace has even reached you here. Peace is even though we're not even seeing each other correctly, not seeing each other beyond the veil of fear and separation and insanity, even though we are not seeing each other with a totally loving perception, yet peace has reached us even here. Follow me in the book. It says it's almost over in your awareness, and peace has reached you even here before the veil. What is the veil? The veil is fear. A Course in Miracles is only talking about loving perceptions or fearful perceptions. Or you could say the Course in Miracles is only talking about innocent perceptions or guilty perceptions. You can say the Course in Miracles is only talking about choosing peaceful perceptions or conflicting perceptions. The Course in Miracles is only talking about choosing perceptions of abundance or perceptions of lack. The Course in Miracles is talking about awareness. It says the veil of separation must be lifted, and it's almost gone, it says, in your awareness, because peace has reached you even here before the veil. Then he tells us what? Then the Course in Miracles says, I want you to think of what's going to happen. Now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen when we have forgiven each other and we're seeing each other sanely and lovingly. The Course in Miracles is about to tell you what happens when you have forgiven and your perception has been corrected and you are coming from a totally sane, loving, spiritual mind that still feels connected to your source. The Course in Miracles is about to tell us exactly what's going to happen after our minds have been healed. And I know if you're like me, that's something that we wonder about. Well, what's going to happen when I heal? What's going to happen when I really become loving? What's going to happen when I go beyond my ego? Well, we're about to be told right now. So be careful that you don't go unconscious. Be careful not to go unconscious now, because the ego has a tendency to take people into unconsciousness whenever they are being told what their function is or whenever they are being told very loving things. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen after you have allowed the separation, the veil, to be lifted. Okay. The love of Christ will light your face. Christ, the Course in Miracles defines Christ as your real self, your loving self, your true self. So the love of the true self, the love of the one self, the love of the extension of God, that's all Christ, will light your face. You will love your real self. And in loving your real self, it is going to light up your face. Think of your body as a lampshade and think of yourself as the light bulb. Okay, just think about that for a minute. Go, I am the light bulb. The body is the lampshade. The Course in Miracles actually says that it uses the analogy of the body being a lampshade. Okay, you are the light bulb. The body is the lampshade. So when you love yourself, the love of Christ, that's going to light your face just like a light bulb lights up a lampshade. And so there's going to be this light shining through you. There's going to be this love shining through you when you lift all of your fear and all of your insanity that you've learned from the world. When your ego is no longer in control, there's going to be a light, a love for yourself that's going to light your face. You are going to actually look like you are lit up. And I know some of you have had the experience of being around people who just seem like they are just lit up. And the Course in Miracles says this love and this love of Christ, this light will shine from your face. There's going to be a love shining from your face into a fearful world. Remember, the Course in Miracles is only talking about what? Love or fear. So a darkened world is just a frightened world. So and the light is just love. So we're really saying the love of Christ, which is the love of your true self. That love will light your face and it will shine from your face into this fearful world. Because this fearful world, this darkened world, it needs the light. What does this world need? It needs light. It needs love. It needs truth. The world needs the light. This frightened world needs the light. So when you and I lift the veil of sin and insanity that seems to stand between us, that keeps us from loving each other and seeing each other with love, and we finally see each other correctly, we're going to love who we are. We're going to love who we are so much that it's going to light up our face. As a matter of fact, this love is not only going to light your face up, it's going to shine from you. This love is going to shine from you out into this frightened world, because this world needs love. Like that song goes, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's what this world needs right now. That's what this world needs right now. And from this healing place, love will return with you, not leaving this healing place nor you. So when you move back into the world, you are going to be bringing love with you. You're going to be bringing God, Christ, truth, love with you. And then you are going to become the messenger of love. You're going to become the messenger of the truth. In other words, you're going to be returning love to love. You're going to be returning love to love. You are going to be the messenger of love. You're going to be the messenger of truth. You're going to be the messenger of joy. You're going to be the joy's messenger, love's messenger. You're going to be the messenger. You're going to return love to love. So let me get this straight. Let's get this straight. Let's make sure we got it. Okay. You and I are standing together right now. And the Course in Miracles says, where we are right now is a holy place. It's a holy place because it's the place where we're going to get rid of the fear and we're going to lift the insanity that we have between us that keeps us from loving each other and seeing each other with love. And we're going to let that veil be lifted. We're going to let all the beliefs be lifted that keep us from loving each other. And we're going to do it together because it's just a belief or a veil or a fear that's standing between us. Then the Course in Miracles says you can't do it alone, you can't do it alone, you can't do it alone. You can't really lift the insanity and the veil of fear alone. You can only lift the ego when you join. When we join, that's when we go beyond our fear. When we join, that's when we go beyond our ego. Then it says either one of us is going to think that this block of sin or fear is a solid block. If we try to do it by ourselves, it's going to look like it's really real. But the Course in Miracles then said, it's just a thin drapery of fear that separates us right now. It's just a very thin drapery of illusion that separates us right now, and it's almost over. Did you hear that? It says our unconsciousness is almost over. Our only seeing the veil, seeing the insanity, seeing the fear, that time is almost over because peace has reached you even here. Even here. Peace and the truth has reached you. Then the Course in Miracles says you need to think about what's going to happen after you get past the blocks. What's going to happen after you lift the veil. He says, well, there's going to be the love of yourself. The love of Christ is going to light your face. And then there's going to be light and love coming through your body that's going to go out into this frightened world. And God, love, is going to return with you as you go into this world. This love will not leave you because you are going to become the messenger of love. That's what I'm doing right now. I am a messenger of love. I am among the ministers of God. A minister is, from a Course in Miracles perspective, a minister is a messenger. So when I say I'm a minister, I'm not talking about the traditional definitions that some of you may have learned. When I say I'm a minister, speaking from a Course in Miracles perspective, what I'm saying is I am a messenger. You see, I'm here to give you a message, and you are here to give a message, and you are here to give the message of love. You're here to demonstrate love. You're here to demonstrate joy. You're here to demonstrate kindness. You're here to demonstrate happiness. You are here to return love to love. You are here to give and receive love. You are only here to give and receive love. You are a messenger of love, so that means you are a minister. Okay. That's right. C says, I have a sparkly jeweled lampshade that makes my light shine even further. Brooke says, I am a messenger of love. Diana says, my lampshade is barely there. So I'm glad that we're getting the power of the simplicity of this. I want to reach out and say to those of you that's watching this, please follow this page, please like this page, and please share this video. You can write down in by comments, you get the option of sharing. So take a moment to share this class, this live broadcast, because many of us are at the branching of the road when we know it's time for us to decide which way we're going to go, whether in the direction of love or in the direction of fear. Many of us know that we can't keep going the way that we have been doing things, that we can't keep doing it that way. A lot of us know that if we keep doing it the way we've always done it, we will be going nowhere. There's a lot of us that's come to the realization that we can't go back. We can't do it the way that we used to do it, that our way is decided. And that's good news. And then a lot of us also are aware that the hardest steps are the very first steps. The hardest steps is really getting started, to really getting to the point that you're doing what you're being told to do. That's the hardest part. Then we were told that we're going to lift this veil of fear together. And when we do it, we're going to have a love that radiates from us into this fearful world. And that we're going to be messengers of love and truth, walking around in this world, returning love to love. That's the message. That's the simple truth. It's simple, it's true. Then in paragraph 4, it says, think of the loveliness that you will see. So right now, take a moment. I want you to think about, boy, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really, when I'm looking out at the world with no fear and only love and feeling my connection to God and source and everybody else, then it's going to be lovely. I want to think about the loveliness that I'm going to see when I really do this. Who do what? Walk with him. Walk with the loving self. Walk with the Christ, which is the real loving self. So I'm going to tell you that when you're walking with love, when you're walking with the Christ, when you're walking with the real self, then you will be seeing some really cool, loving, incredible sights. Then the Course in Miracles says what? Think how beautiful will you and your brother look to each other. So we're supposed to think about how good looking we will look to each other. Right now I'm supposed to be thinking about how beautiful you will look to me when I'm seeing you correctly with love. Think about how beautiful I will look to you when you're seeing me with love. I'm thinking about how beautiful you will look to me when I am thinking and perceiving with love and walking with love. Then the Course in Miracles says how happy you will be together. So when we see each other correctly, when we are seeing each other with love, because we have lifted the veil of fear, we're going to look really beautiful to each other. We're going to look so friggin' beautiful to each other when we're seeing each other without fear. Think about that. Think about how fine I'm going to look to you when you're seeing me totally with love. Think how fine you're going to look to me when I'm looking at you with total love. And think about how happy we'll be together. Think about how happy we are right now to be together after such a long and lonely journey. So what is a long and lonely journey? What is a long and lonely journey? A long and lonely journey is a journey where you walk alone. You're on a long, lonely journey if you feel like you're all alone. If you feel like you're walking alone, you're on a long and lonely journey. So think about how happy we will be to be walking together, seeing each other as beautiful after we walked alone on a long and lonely journey. Think about that. Think about you'll never be alone again. You will never be alone again. Think about that. Think about how wonderful that will be to really know that you can never be alone again. You will never be alone on this journey again. You will never be by yourself on a long, lonely journey ever again. Think about that. Think about how beautiful that we'll look to each other. Think about how beautiful the things that you look at are going to be when you're walking with love, walking with God, walking with Christ. I want you to think about how happy you will be to be with me, because we have been walking alone by ourselves, and now we have each other. So the gates of heaven, which are the gates of love. Remember, the Course in Miracles is only talking about love or fear. So when it says the gates of heaven, we're talking about the gates of love. And the gates of love do what? The gates of love, which are the gates of heaven, they open now for you. Okay, so I want you to picture some gates opening up right now, like you're walking along a road and you see some gates open up before you. So the gate of love is opening up right now for you. And so since love is opening up for you, then you are now going to open your love to the sorrowful. The gates of heaven open now for you. The gates of heaven that are now open for you, will you now open to the sorrowful? So the gates of love have been opened for me. I'm going to open the gates of love for you. It's sort of like when you get ready to walk in the building and you open the door for the person behind you, right? The door opened for you, and now you are opening it for the person behind you. So the gate of love that's open for you now, you're going to open that gate of love for everybody else. And none who looks upon the Christ in you but will rejoice. So everybody that looks at the love in you will rejoice. So people will start to rejoice just by being in your presence. You are going to be such a demonstration of love that people will just be happy to see you coming. Do you know some people that just as soon as you see them, you feel good, you feel happy inside? That's what we're talking about. Everybody will start to see you that way. The Course in Miracles is saying everyone will start to look at you, and just because they are looking at you, looking at the love in you, feeling the love in you, they will rejoice. So more and more, you are going to have people happy that you are there. You're going to have more and more people happy to be around you. There's going to be more and more people happy to be around you because they'll be looking at the Christ in you. They will be looking at the love in you. Because remember, the simplicity of the Course is that we're only talking about loving perceptions and fearful perceptions. How beautiful the sight you saw beyond the veil is the same as saying how beautiful the sight you saw beyond the fear, which you will bring to light the tired eyes of those as weary now as once you were. So you're beginning to see the truth. You're beginning to see the love. So you're going to bring the love to people who are as weary and tired and unhappy as you used to be. Now you're going to bring the joy to the people who used to be. You're going to bring the joy to the people who are as unhappy as you used to be. You're going to bring the truth to the people who are as deceived as you used to be. You're going to bring the love to the people who are as weary and tired as you used to be. I want you to hear that. Okay, so what is it that we are being told? That you're going to look beautiful to me, I'm going to look beautiful to you. We're going to be really happy that we're together because we've been lonely walking on this spiritual path alone. The gates of love that are opening up for us now, we're going to open those gates of love up to those who are sad. Everybody around you, they're going to start to see the love in you, and they're going to rejoice when they are around you. You've seen this beautiful sight beyond the fear, and you're going to bring the sight of love that you're having right now, the experience of love that you're having right now. You're going to bring that to light the tired eyes of those people who are as weary now or as unconscious now as you used to be. And these people who are unhappy, they're going to be thankful to see you come among them. See, people who are in fear and unhappy and sad, they are thankful to see a loving, kind being among them. They are thankful to see a loving person like you. So people who are sad are going to be thankful to see you right there with them, radiating the light, radiating the love, radiating the truth. So you're going to be among the people who are still frightened. You become a more loving person, and then you are among the people who are still frightened. And they're going to be thankful to see you there. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do among the frightened, sad people who are the way you used to be? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to offer Christ's forgiveness to dispel their faith in sin. What? I'm going to offer love's forgiveness. Now, the Christ is the real self. The Christ is the true self. The Christ is your loving self. So you're going to offer the forgiveness that your loving self gives. I'm not talking about offering the forgiveness that your angry self or your fearful self or your guilty self tries to give. I'm not talking about the way we do forgiveness, which is I'm going to try to overlook what I think you really did to me, you know good so-and-so, because I'm so spiritual. No, we're not talking about that level of forgiveness. We're talking about Christ's forgiveness. So Christ's forgiveness is love's forgiveness, because we're only talking about what? Loving perceptions or fearful perceptions. That's all the Course in Miracles is talking about. And sometimes a loving perception is called happiness or joy or abundance or fun. You know, those are just other words for love. And then sometimes fear takes the form of death and anger and sickness and attack. But we're only talking about what? Love or fear. Love or fear. So the people who are in fear are glad to see the loving person among them. The loving person is offering Christ's forgiveness. So a loving person is offering the forgiveness that a loving being gives to who? To dispel that person's faith in sin. If I keep giving you love, you cannot possibly continue to believe that you're sinful, bad, and guilty. If I keep giving you love, if I keep being happy around you, if I keep acknowledging you, if I keep supporting you, if I keep appreciating you, I'm going to dispel your faith in sin. I'm going to get rid of your belief that you are a sinner. That if I am here to dispel your belief in sin. I am here to dispel your belief that you can do anything that love or God could not heal or correct. There is not a single situation or circumstance, nothing you've ever done that love cannot heal, that God cannot heal, that God cannot correct. So as you walk the world and you're coming from these teachings and these thoughts, and that light in you is shining outward, and people who are unhappy the way you used to be are glad to see you among them, because you're offering them Christ's forgiveness. You're offering them the forgiveness that a loving being gives. And that kind of forgiveness, you can tell when you're experiencing Christ's forgiveness, because when you are experiencing true forgiveness, you no longer believe that you're bad. You no longer believe that you're guilty. You no longer believe that you're angry. You no longer believe that you're separate from God. You no longer believe you disobeyed God. You no longer believe in sin. That's how you know you've experienced Christ or true love's forgiveness. Because if you do, you no longer believe that you're guilty. You no longer believe that you're bad. You no longer believe that you're separate, because you're in the presence of love. And this person is so loving, and this person is so joyful and so happy, and light is shining from their face. And so much love is radiating through them that you could not possibly think that you're unworthy. You could not possibly have any further faith in sin. Now, the Course in Miracles just told us in these first 4 paragraphs exactly where we are. Then it told us what we were going to be doing in the world. So, let's look at the comments. Diana says, I will be bringing the truth to people who are aware the way I used to be before I found it. That's right. Perfect love casts out fear. That's right, Alita. That's the perfect example of that statement. If you are truly a loving being and you're in the presence of anyone else and you are a truly loving being and you are radiating that light and you are radiating that love because the veil has been lifted for you, then you would also cast out the fear of the other person. that other person would also let go of their guilt, and they would also dispel their faith in sin and in insanity. Arlene says, oh my God, this is what I live for, to radiate love, to help people to be happy and know that they are loved and loved. That's what I mean about being a minister, is that there's this message that we're receiving, right? And notice that we don't do in A Course in Miracles what a lot of people do in Course in Miracles groups and classes. Notice, you all, that we're not doing a whole lot of analyzing our stories right now. What we're doing right now is trying to get clear about the instructions that we're being given. That is what the Course in Miracles wants you to do. It wants you to get the message. It wants you to get that, first of all, you can't get rid of your loneliness by yourself. That we have to do it together. That we have to lift this veil of fear together. And that simply means we have to dispel each other's beliefs in sin and guilt together. Then when we do that, the Course in Miracles says that we will be getting in touch with the Christ in ourselves, our true loving selves that's connected to God, that's connected to Source, and that we will have such a love for that self that it will light up our faces, it will radiate out into this frightened world, and people will be glad to see us. Everything that you look at will look beautiful. You will be looking beautiful to everybody. Everybody will be looking beautiful to you. You'll be in love with everything that you're seeing. And then you will then take your loving butt around other people who are not necessarily happy, who are the way you used to be or still believe what you used to believe. And you will let your forgiveness, the love that's coming through you, the correct perception that's coming through you, will dispel their belief in fear, in weakness, in their unworthiness. That's just going to happen just by people being in your presence. Okay. Paragraph 5. And I'm loving your comments, and I'm seeing your comments and seeing how you're interacting with each other. And Omani says, I guess I ain't truly loving as of yet. Well, the truth is you're not truly loving as of yet, probably. You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you something else. That's true of probably all of us. If we be honest with each other, we would have no need to learn A Course in Miracles if we were already 100% demonstrating God's love. Okay? So none of that beating yourself up because you are not to the point yet that you can give unconditional love. But remember, you made it this far, which means you can't make a wrong decision. You can't go in the wrong direction. You're going to be helped because you've made a decision for love. Then the Course in Miracles says the power of heaven, the power of God is going to uphold that choice. Your way is decided. Then you were told there wouldn't be anything you wouldn't be told. There would be no guidance that you would not receive that you need if you acknowledge that your way has been decided. Then we were told that there's just a thin drapery that's what's between us and everybody around us, which is the veil of our beliefs, the veil of our fears, the veil of our past, and that we can lift that veil together by reminding each other of the truth. And the truth is that we are innocent. And when you finally get in touch with that truth about yourself, you're going to love yourself. And that love is going to radiate through your face, and that love is going to radiate out into the dark and fearful world. And people are going to be glad to have you among them because just your loving presence is going to dispel all of their negative feelings and beliefs about themselves. That is the message. That is the message that we were just given, which is a beautiful message. Don't you think? Okay, so you're going to make it because your way is decided. You're going to make it because you've decided for love, and you can't make a decision for love without love upholding you. So what does that look like in practice? So what does this look like in practice? Because what I love about this section is that this section is telling us what's going to happen after we wake up, what's going to happen after we truly see our Christ self, our true self, our love self. Okay? It says, every mistake you and your brother make, every mistake you and the other make, every mistake I make, every mistake you make, any mistake I make, and any mistake you make, the other will gently have corrected. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that if you do make a mistake, I would like your mistake gently corrected. If you do make a mistake that comes from fear or guilt or anger or selfishness, I want that mistake to be gently corrected. I want all of your mistakes to be corrected very gently. And you will want all of my mistakes to be corrected very gently. Because in my sight, your loveliness is my salvation. See, I realize that what's going to save me is to see you as innocent. What's going to save me is to see you as love and lovable. Every mistake you make, I'm going to want gently corrected, because it's seeing your loveliness and your peace that's ultimately going to be my salvation. That's what's going to be my healing. In other words, once I realize that we are one being, I would recognize that your happiness is my happiness. My happiness is your happiness. Your healing is my healing. My healing is your healing. So of course I will want every one of your mistakes to be lovingly, gently corrected, because that would be what I would want for myself. So your healing would be my healing. Your loveliness is my salvation, and I'm going to protect your loveliness. I'm going to protect your innocence from harm. I'm going to be the one person that does not want you to see yourself as guilty or sinful. In other words, that's what being a savior means. It means I'm going to see you beyond how you see yourself. I'm going to remind you that you are innocent when you forget it. You're going to remind me that I deserve love. You're going to remind me that my mistakes deserve to be gently corrected, because you know in my peace is your peace. So you're going to want my peace as much as you want your peace. And you will be, he says, and you will be your brother's strong protector. So how am I going to be your protector? Well, it says it right here. I'm going to be your protector by wanting any mistake that you make to be gently corrected. I'm going to be your protector by recognizing that your loveliness is my salvation. Your loveliness benefits me. I'm going to be your strong protector because I am going to protect your sense of being innocent and valuable. So it says, you will be your brother's strong protector from everything that seems to rise between you both. So I'm going to protect you from any fearful, negative, guilty thoughts that may rise between us. I'm going to continue to see your innocence. I'm going to continue to see your goodness, because that will protect you and me from any ego that might come up between us. The love and the innocence that I see in you, that's going to keep any ego between us, any ego stuff from coming up between us, any fear, anger stuff from coming up between us. It says, I'll say that last sentence again. It says, and you will be your brother's strong protector. You will be your brother's strong protector from everything that seems to rise between you both. So shall you walk the world with me, whose message has not yet been given everyone. So you and I are going to walk together sharing the message of love that everyone hasn't received yet. Jesus will also be walking the world with you, whose message has not been given everyone. This message has not been given everyone. So you are going to walk the world with me, and I'm going to walk the world with you, and we're going to walk the world with Jesus, and we're going to be giving this message of love. You are here so that people can receive this truth. You are here so that people can receive the love from you. You are here so that people can experience the happiness in you. For you are here to let the message be received. Why am I here? To give this message. Why am I here on this planet? To give this message of love. That's why you are here on this planet. To love yourself so much that it lights up your face and it radiates from your body out into this frightened world, transforming everybody around you. God's offer is still open. There it is right there on the page. God's offer. What offer? The offer of love. It's still, don't make it complicated. What is God's offer? The offer of peace. The offer of love is still open. So I'm offering you love, but you have to accept it. I'm offering you truth. I'm offering you support. I'm offering you your innocence. I'm offering you gentle correction, yet it waits what? It waits acceptance. So everything that we've heard from A Course in Miracles is waiting for us to accept it. It has to be accepted. From you who have accepted the message, is it received? So you accept this truth for yourself, that you at the branch of the road, you can't make the wrong choice, and that you're going to make the choice for love, and God is going to uphold that, and you're going to walk in the world radiating love that dispels everybody's fear. That offer is being given you right now, and you have accepted it so other people can receive it from you. See, I am accepting A Course in Miracles. I have accepted that the Course in Miracles is the Word of God for me. It's the Word of truth for me. And as I accept it, I give it. As I accept it, I can't help but give it. So the offer is still open, but love's offer is still open, but you have to accept it. He says, from you who have accepted it, is it received? And the next sentence says, into your hand, joined with your brothers. So your hand and my hand are joined, right? This message of love is safely given for you who share this message of love. You who will share this message that you've just heard. You have become the willing guardian and protector of these words of love. So my hand is joined with your hand. All of our hands are joined. So this message of love and innocence has been safely given to us in this broadcast, in this video, in this live broadcast. So you who share this message of love, that you've reached the branch of the road, that you are not going to make a wrong decision, that your way is decided, that God is upholding your decision, that we're going to lift this veil of grievances and fear together, and we're going to walk the world shining that love out to people who used to feel the way that we used to feel. That makes us the messenger. That makes us the ministers. A minister is a messenger, and you are a minister. You are a messenger, and you are here that the message be received. You who share it have become its willing guardian and protector. All right. It is so good that we had a chance to do this evening. I'm going to do a quick review of the main message that we heard so far. And don't hesitate to read the rest of the section if I'm not able to get through the whole section. I want to thank you and ask you if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation. I am a full-time teacher. I dedicated my life to being a voice for the course and a voice for truth. And if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, which would be much appreciated by me, go to www.earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy.com, and you can do that. Also, I'd like to say that on May 12, 2018, CJ Collegine Adams, Dr. Adams, and I are doing a very profound, powerful workshop that you can attend in person or online, and it's called Share the Love. Share the Love. It is an incredible relationship workshop of an evolutionary nature. So it covers romantic relationships to the relationships you have with everybody in your life, but we take it to another level. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, to get more information about it and to register for it. May 12th, 2018. And you can also go to cjcollegineadams.com. CJ, put your website address up in the comments if you don't mind, in case I said that wrong. But definitely you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com, find out more about it, and register for it. I'm available for one-on-one sessions using my 38 years of working with the Course in Miracles and teaching people how to apply it, as well as my 40 years working with sacred divine astrology and numerology for those who are open to that also. I'm available for one-on-ones. Go to my website, Earl Purdy, www.earlpurdy.com, and you can find out about my clarity sessions. My next Facebook Live is on Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is the Course in Miracles class. Then on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I do the Way of Mastery on Facebook Live. And, of course, on Thursdays, I do Hardcore Course in Miracles at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You don't have to be a member of Facebook in order to watch my live broadcast. Go to www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. That's the link. All right. I'm so glad. Wow. I love getting the message that we got tonight. It was so powerful in its simplicity. Remember, I was telling you that you were welcome, Pete. I'm glad. I love you all. I love you all so much. I'm so glad that we are mighty companions and we're joining together, lifting the veil of fear and ignorance that stood between us. And I'm glad that we're seeing each other as beautiful and lovely, and that we are letting ourselves let go of all that drapery of misperception that stands between us. It's I don't know. And by the way, this music is my good friend John Christmas at www.johnChristmas.com. So let's do a quick review of what we heard. When you come to the branch in the road, you'll realize that you can't go the way that you came before you got this far. I don't care what you went through in the past. It can no longer serve. Whatever you went through in the past, it doesn't matter. If you keep going the way that you have been going before you got to this point, you won't be going anywhere. It's what we were told tonight from the Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles told us that the whole purpose of coming this far on your spiritual path was to decide whether you were going to take the branch of love or the branch of fear. The way you came, it can't serve you anymore. But if you've made it this far, you can't make the wrong decision and you can't go back. And there's no part of the journey that seems more hopeless and futile than standing where the road branches and not deciding which way to go. Do you know that it is just the first few steps along the right way that's going to seem hard? Do you know that you've chosen for love and that you can't go back and make another choice when you've chosen for love? Because when you choose for love, the power of God is upholding your choice. Do you know your way is decided? Your way is decided. Do you know that means that there will be nothing that you will not be told if you acknowledge that your way has been decided? We're letting the veil of fear be lifted between us now. We're letting the veil of what we learned in the past be lifted from us now. We recognize that we could never remove our ego and our fear without joining with each other. And peace has reached us. We have reached peace right here. So I want you to think about what's going to happen next. I want you to think about the loveliness that you are going to see. Do you know that the love of your real self is going to light up your face and radiate through your face? Do you know that the love that you are is going to shine out into a frightened world? This world needs the light. This world needs the love. This world needs the light. And that God and love is going to return with you into the world, and you are going to become the messenger of love. You're going to become the messenger of love. You're going to return love to love. Now, this is what you should think about. Think of the loveliness that you're going to see. Think about how beautiful that we are going to look to each other. Think about how happy we're going to be together after doing this by ourselves for so long. And we're going to open up this beautiful way to people who are sad the way we used to be. Because we are going to bring this love and this truth to people who are tired and weary. They're going to be so glad to see you. People are going to be so glad to have you among them, because you are going to be bringing the love and the truth to them. Do you know that every mistake you make, I'm going to want to have gently corrected? Do you know that every mistake I make, you're going to want to have gently corrected? Because you're going to see my healing as your healing, and I'm going to see your healing as my healing. And so we're going to become each other's protector. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect your innocence and your beauty and not let you forget it. And you're going to do everything in your power to support me, never forgetting how beautiful I am. That's what we're going to do for each other in the world. And you are here to allow this loving message to be received, this message that I just said to you. So I want your happiness, because your happiness is my happiness. Your healing is my healing. You can't make the wrong decision. You have chosen for love, and God is going to uphold your choice. Mighty companions, thank you for being here with me for Hardcore Course in Miracles, the profound simplicity of A Course in Miracles. You are such beautiful souls. You're such a light. And I want the light in me to extend to the light in you. And share this video. And I'll see you next time. I love you. I love you. And may the Course be with you.